Solving equations, lesson C notes, example number 8 continued. Before I go over F, G, H, and I just want to show you this part right here, this here, this up here, here, and that there. Obviously, if this was your homework, you would not need to write that stuff down. I was just showing you how you would type it into your calculator to check your answer. So again, those things that I just highlighted, that is simply if you want to check your answer in the calculator. Okay, let's go to example F. So you were supposed to do F through I. Now I just want to go over the answers with you. All right, for F, I box my variable term, which is x divided by negative 11, and then outside of the box I have a positive 2. So I'm going to use the inverse operation to get rid of this positive 2, and the inverse would be to subtract 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So I can cancel the 2's. Negative 3 and negative 2 is negative 5. Bring down my equal sign. Keep my variable on the right side because it starts on the right. So I brought down everything in the box. Don't forget that negative sign on the 11. A lot of times people will bring down x over 11 but forget that negative. All right. This is division, and the inverse would be to use multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the number with the variable. The number with the variable is negative 11. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 11. Now I don't want you to think that this right here is subtraction, so go ahead and put parentheses around the negative 5 as well. Your 11's on this side will cancel. Negative 11 times negative 5 is positive 55. So 55 equals x. If you wanted to check this in your calculator, you would put 55 over negative 11 and then add 2. G. To isolate the m, I need to get rid of the negative 5 and the 13. I'm not supposed to touch the negative 5. It's inside the box. I'm going to get rid of the 13 first. The inverse of positive 13 would be negative 13. So I'm going to subtract 13 from both sides. Thirteens cancel. Bring down my negative 5m. Bring down my equal sign. Negative 22 minus 13. The signs are the same, so I'm going to add and keep the signs. So that would be negative 35. Again, use your calculator to do that. Would I love for you to be able to do that in your head? Yes. And can you try it? Sure, but always just double check yourself by using the calculator, because messing up a sign will mess up the entire problem. All right, this is multiplication. So the opposite, or the inverse of multiplication, is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by the number with the variable. The number with the variable is negative 5. So they cancel. So m equals negative 35 divided by negative 5 is 7. All right, if you wanted to check this in your calculator, you would put negative 5 times 7 plus 13. Again, you would not have to write that down. I'm just showing you how you would type it into your calculator. You might want to write it on your notes, but you don't have to write it on your homework. All right, for H, I box my variable term. I need to get rid of the 6 first and then the 2/3. So the inverse to positive 6 would be negative 6. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. They would cancel. Now, I told you this before, I like to write it as 2/3 with the d beside it. Put my equal signs, and 32 minus 6 is 26. Did you recognize that there is a fraction in a multiplication problem? When we have a fraction in a multiplication problem, we can't divide, but instead we use the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3/2. So this cancels and this cancels. Now, if you want to, you can reduce first, or you can simply put it in your calculator as 26 times 3/2. It doesn't matter to me. If you didn't have a calculator and you needed to do it in your head, then I would reduce. 2 and 26 are both divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 26 divided by 2 is 13. So really I'm just taking 13 times 3. But again, you don't have to do the reducing there. You can simply just put it in your calculator to get your final answer. And my final answer would be D equals 13 times 3 is 39. All right, if you wanted to check that in your calculator, you could do it two ways. You could do 2 times 39 over 3 plus 6, or you could do 2/3 times 39 plus 6. Either way, you'll get the same answer. All right, last problem. The number outside of the box that I need to get rid of first is the +8, and the inverse would be to use the -8, or subtract 8 from both sides. The 8's will cancel. I'll bring down my -6/11. Sorry. (20 minus 8 is 12. All right. I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal because, again, I've got a multiplication problem that contains a fraction, so I need to use the reciprocal. The reciprocal of -6/11 is -11/6. -11/6. So I multiplied both sides by the reciprocal. Cancel the 6, cancel the 11s. On this side, if you want to reduce first, you can. Or, again, you could simply put in your calculator as 12 times -11/6. I don't care how you do it, as long as you have the correct answer in the end. I like to reduce first just because I think it makes the multiplication easier. For instance, I know that 6 goes into both 6 and 12. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So really all I have to do is take 2 times -11. But if you don't want to reduce first, that's okay. So I have x equals 2 times 11 is 22. There's one negative, so it's going to be -22. All right, so to check your answer, you would put -6/11 times -22 plus 8 into your calculator. So I'm going to check this one. Since we went through the rest of them, I'm going to go ahead and check this one. All right, so clear that out. I have -6/11 times -22, and then plus 8. I got 20. What answer do I have up here? 20, so we are correct. All right. If you have any questions on example number 8 or solving two-step equations, please let me know.